Before we get into the episode, I am thrilled to announce that the EntreMD Business School is open for enrollment. The EntreMD Business School is the only school of its kind for physicians who want to build 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. Over the last 2 years, we have had hundreds of doctors go through the school with unbelievable results. Some of them run brands, some of them run private practices, some of them are coaches, some have other kinds of service-based businesses or product-based businesses. And we've had people come in and cross the 6-figure milestone, cross the 7-figure milestone, cross the multiple 7-figure milestone. You will be in a place where you'll get the coaching, the community, the accountability that you need to thrive as an entrepreneur, especially in the times that we're in. So maybe you've been following me for a while. Maybe you've been getting so much out of the EntreMD podcast and you've been wondering, how can I work with Dr. Una and the community more? Well, this is your chance. Come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is application only. So go to entremd.com/business to turn in your application. I cannot tell you how many doctors have made statements like this. I recovered my investment in the first week. I recovered my investment in my bank account in the first 90 days. This is the best investment I've made in myself ever. I want you to have that kind of story, not just a story of building a great business that serves a lot and earns a lot, but having a business that gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. So don't wait any longer. entremd.com/business. And now for the episode. Hi, docs. Welcome to the EntreMD podcast, where it's all about helping amazing physicians just like you embrace entrepreneurship so you can have the freedom to live life and practice medicine on your terms. I'm your host, Dr. Una. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of the EntreMD podcast. Now, this is a special episode that is part of the EBS Show series. So it's kind of like the inside scoop of what happens in the EntreMD Business School. So Dr. Tamara Beckford is an emergency medicine trained physician, and she is the founder of Your Caring Docs. She's a student, a proud student of the EntreMD Business School, and she is the host of the EBS Show. So she interviewed students from the EntreMD Business School to feature their journeys. And she uncovered it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. So whether you're a veteran entrepreneur or all you have is an idea, there is so much to learn. So I want you to lean in. So now let's join them.
Hello, hello, hello. Hey, it's Dr. Tamara Beckford, and I'm the host of the EBS Show. That's right. EBS, what are you saying? Well, EBS is the EntreMD Business School, which is the premier business school for entrepreneurs, especially physician entrepreneurs, right? That's right. So today I am going to introduce you to one of my fabulous classmates. So this is Dr. Jessica Daigle. She's a pediatrician and she's the CEO and founder of Mom and Me. She helps ease the transition from birth to home, actually, for all their moms and their new babies. So if you are a new mom and you're uncertain, you're unsure about what's going on, well, Mom and Me is here to help ease that transition for you, right? So kind of get that anxiety level down. Now, we're going to find out from Dr. Daigle. We're going to call her Dr. Jessica. Like, where was this Mom and Me before she started EntreMD? Like, how has this thing changed? Is she the same person? Like, is there a difference? Is there a reason why you should join this or join us in the EntreMD Business School? Let's dig in, right? So, Dr. Jessica, thank you for taking this time out to be with us.
Thank you.
All righty. So now, I'm here talking about Mom and Me. You're doing this wonderful thing where you're helping moms of newborn babies. And they're just like, help bring that anxiety level down. You're giving them all this great info, right? But you are this confident entrepreneur right now where you're going out there, you're talking, you're doing interviews all over the place. Is this the same Jessica of before she entered EntreMD, or is this a new Jessica, or new and an upgraded? Oh, Jessica 2.0. Tell me.
Yes. So this is definitely Jessica 2.0. The assertiveness has always been inside of me, but it was more channeling it in an entrepreneur way. I've always when I envisioned being a doctor, I've always wanted to work with moms and babies. So that part of me is still the same. That's becoming 2.0 too. But I always was of the mind frame, I'm just going to go to work, see my patients, take care of my patients, and go home. And my husband is an entrepreneur, and he's always been on me about working for yourself. You're always working for the man. That's what he would say, you know? And he's like, and you know, it's the harder you work and the better you work, they're just going to give you more stuff to do, but it's still not going to be your own thing, you know? And so I used to still just kind of be like, well, that's fine. You know, I used to say everybody can't own a business, you know, and it's so interesting, like the mind shifts and frames, the mindsets that you have and have to tackle. And so I think like probably most of our classmates, we're all undergoing this transition of knowing that there's more. And I remember thinking that, like, you know, coming home from work, and sometimes I would sit in my car and like cry, and I would have to like dive through like that feeling. Okay, break it down. Like, what is it that is really distressing me? Okay, well, I figured out it wasn't the work I was doing. I still love that, taking care of my moms and the families. I work in the NICU and the nursery for those, for context. So that part I love, like that gives me life. But it was the politics around the hospital and the corporate medicine, and that I felt like things that I wanted to change that I just really couldn't do, that I was restricted. That I realized, well, if I did work for myself, like my husband said, I would be able to say, hey, I've assessed this in my organization and this needs to be improved. Let me make that change. And also the other biggest thing was coming up with my why is, well, I have kids now. And before, when I was just going to work and coming home, it was just me that I was dealing with. And so that was easy. You know, I'm not really like a busy person. So eating a good meal and watching a good movie is the highlight of the day for me sometimes, you know, but with having my kids, I want to be able to go to the soccer games and the dance recitals and the things. And if I had my own business, I could modulate my schedule as I need to. And so that became more of an appeal for me too. And this sense of, I'm not really letting go of an old dream. I'm expanding a new one. And that was a big part mentally that I had to tackle, because I never like to feel like I'm giving up on anything. And I'm like, well, what about, you know, people who might need me to be over here, you know, or, you know, and have access to me there. But I had to realize that even when I'm working at the hospital, I'm not there all the time anyway, still. Like I work 2 weeks on and off. And so those 2 weeks that I'm off, people are still not accessing me. And so there's no way anybody can 100% do it. And so joining EBS for me was a pivotal point, because I realized like what made me thrive in med school was you had a framework. Okay, you knew what you had to do. You had community and some accountability. And you need all of that. You need framework, community, and accountability in order to make it in anything real. Especially like big things like this, like business and jobs and careers and stuff like that. And that's not exclusive to just entrepreneurship. That's anything. And so I'm definitely a different person than I was before joining the EBS. And so I'm so grateful that I did.
Wow. So, you know, you're there, you're working, and it's not as if you're there working and you're not giving your all. You're giving your all day to day, right?
Yeah.
And you are coming home, but you're still not feeling fulfilled.
Yeah.
To the point that you're in your car and you're crying and you're trying to sift through the different portions of your emotions. Like, why am I not feeling fulfilled? I know I'm giving my all, but there's a part of you said that there is more. And then you said there's this mindset shift that has to occur, right? So where are you going to get the time? You're already doing all of this. And then you start looking and you said, wait, I work 2 weeks on and I have the other time off. So the accessibility and time, if I really think about it and change my mindset, I can really start to put this together.
Yes.
And the step is like, well, where can I find the framework, the community, and the accountability?
Yes. Yep. And so I don't even remember how I came across Dr. Una too. I credit one of my friends, because I was never on social media even before this year. Like I'm 37 years old and I've never been on anything like Facebook or anything. And so when I was just thinking about my business idea and what I wanted to do, I thought that it might be more of a direct primary care model. I was trying to explore, and then one of my friends, I saw he's doing that back home. I'm from Louisiana. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to him and he was like, hey, join this community. So I had to make a Facebook account so I could actually access the community on Facebook. And then it just expounded from there. I joined the 4th trimester community, which the 4th trimester is those first 12 weeks after a mom has her baby. And that is the space that I want to help families in. And so and then it just expounded from that. I think maybe it was like an ad or just something that came across. And then I was like, I attended the live and I just like fell in love. I was like, this lady gets me. And I loved Dr. Una's energy. And I saw the testimonies of the other students in the school. And it was like a palpable transformation that came across even through Zoom, which is interesting because you would think like virtual, you wouldn't be able to feel like an energy, but I did. I did that. And I was like, you know what? I need to invest in this, in myself and go to the next level.
Wow. So before you joined the business school, Mommy and Me was a thought. It was something that was inside you that you knew you had to get out.
Yes.
So what has happened since you joined the business school? Where did Mommy and Me go? Where is it right now?
So right now it's actually like registered as an LLC. This is EIN, all of the things that's necessary for it to be an actual business, a framework of a package of what it is that I need to offer my families. Like the whole idea of even going on to social media and doing videos and posting, that is all new for me, but I don't feel like it's new now. It's like, okay, this is just what I do now. And it's coming to fruition to the point where now I'm building into looking at the legal aspect for my job and letting my job know that this is reality and that I'm all in, I'm getting this done. I set a date for February for launch, February 2022. And I had this dream where it's interesting. And so one of the other physicians who's doing this in this space who's in Colorado, she was in my dream telling me the people need you. You need to start now. And it was so clear as day. So I'm keeping the February launch date in the back of my mind, and that might be like where I do like in a big party type thing, but I'm really starting now. And as Dr. Una says, it's the business before the business. And so really a big part of that is the mind frame, getting that back part done so you can legally do it, but really just seeing yourself doing that work. And I've already kind of been helping some moms that people have been just referring to me and just kind of working out what that looks like and how I should help them and start taking on paid clients. But it's real for me. It's not like I don't not think of myself as an entrepreneur anymore. I am that. I'm just walking out the steps of it and the scaling of that whole mindset.
Wow. So how long have you been in the business school?
I came in June. I think June was the live. So July.
July.
So all going on almost 6 months.
Yeah. So we're actually at 5 months right now. July.
Yeah, thinking like, yeah, that's true. Like,
actually, when we really, so you started in July, and at this recording, we are, so 4 months. You're on 4 months.
Yes, we are.
So when you think about the changes that have occurred,
that is like mind blowing.
Really think about it. Absorb.
It's crazy. Oh my God. Even my husband has noticed, like I'm coming from the business school telling him stuff. And, he's been an entrepreneur his whole life because he's not ever want to work for anybody, he said. But he's like, wow, I like see this difference in you. And I'm giving him like tips and advice. And he's thinking about maybe I need to get me a social and everything. And so it's so good too to be able to be in this space with him too. Like we can kind of like recognize kindred souls of entrepreneurs, and fun too.
Wow. Hey, when you really sit and think, you probably thought you've been going through this process for going on, because you said 6 months. Oh,
yeah, I was thinking until the end of the year, but you're right.
At this point in time, you went from not being on social media, not wanting to be on social media, to having a social media account. So now you're doing lives, you're putting things out there on 2 platforms, you're doing interviews, You're doing interviews, not only recorded interviews, you're doing podcast interviews, you're doing live interviews. You found your purpose. Other people are seeing what you are putting out there, and they're referring people to you. And you plan on launching in 3 months, but you're still getting people referring clients to you right now.
Yeah.
So Jessica Daigle, prior to the business school, would she have been doing any of this?
No. And, it's so funny because you still get that sense of the comfort of like, okay, maybe I can just go back to just working my 2 weeks on and off, but I feel like I can't do it. Like it's something in me that's resisting that whole thing. And I'm not against working in the hospital by any means. It's something that I still want to do because I enjoy NICU work, and you only can do that kind of work in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. You're a mom and me.
Okay. Look, I was trying to see, was she running over here? And,
your passion is still NICU.
The beauty of it is that's the beauty of medicine, which is something I've always believed, to say you can create your own path. You have to be willing to like go for it, and, obviously every field has legal and laws and all that. So, being an entrepreneur doesn't mean that you can just do whatever you want. Like there's still laws and things, but you get to live out the vision and help people that that you need to help in the way you need to help them. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Wonderful. So now for someone who is thinking about joining the business school, what is your advice for that person?
I would say go all in, invest. The me before too would have probably been like, what? How much I got to pay to this? But then I thought about and even at the time, I really didn't know what I was going to get out of it. To be honest, it was a step of faith. And so I really had to look at it like I'm investing in myself and the dream that I have. And that's really it. It's no different to me than if you say, oh, I need this building. I'm going to invest in buying this building. I'm going to invest in taking this class over here. Or even how we went to medical school and became doctors. That was an investment. That was a lot of money, but it didn't stop us from moving forward because the end result of what we had to gain was greater. And so that's what I would tell people to do. I've always said too, you're going to spend money on what you want. So that be it. But you're really going to get a community. Like, I really feel like I'm not by myself. And even when I had moments where I was frustrated because I was like, oh, well, am I really doing this? Like I need to miss the challenge, or I need to go back, and I still need to go back and do some things over and read. That's the beauty of it, that I just log into my Kajabi portal and say, you know what, I think it's time for me to do another signature talk or something, and I can have the right to do that. And for anybody who would be like, well, I want to work one-on-one, because that was one of my things too. Like, oh, well, I just need to be with somebody one-on-one. It's funny because I'm seeing the importance of the community.
Absolutely. The invaluable portion.
That helps to understand why, and even in my own business, I need to create that community for my clients that I will work with too, because you don't need to do anything alone. You need community in everything that you're going to do, to be honest.
Yeah, right? There you go. There you go. For anyone who's thinking about it, she said, just go ahead and do it. Invest in yourself.
Yes.
And there are those who are thinking, well, I want the one-on-one, but the community is so invaluable. You're going to get that support. Even when you're feeling your highs and your lows, you get that support. And then you are moving forward to the point that you're probably sitting thinking that you've been there for 6 months. But when you look, you realize that you've made leaps and bounds in just 4 months, just like Dr. Daigle. So thank you, Dr. Jessica, for stopping by and letting us know, yes, about the invaluable way that the Entrepreneurship Business School has really impacted you. And for all of the moms out there that you're going to take excellent care of and help with the Mom and Me, we wish you all the best with your fantastic launch. And you know what? We support you as you support us. So because we know that those who are watching are saying, you know what, I think I want to be around those people. Let us be some of the first to tell them welcome to the class. So welcome to the new class. Thank you. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope this inspires you to take even bigger steps as an entrepreneur. And if you're ready to go all in, come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It is the only school of its kind created just for you. And I'll see you, my friend, on the next episode.